I apologize for my hearing problem. First, I need to thank Karen for recommending me and for you for the invitation, Jerry. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. For me, it is a definite honor to have this opportunity to stand before you here tonight, not only as a living reminder of a long, long ago historical event, but also I'm honored to be here as a standing and speaking representative of over 2,400 other individuals who, because of that event, have been unable to stand or to speak for themselves for over 74 years past. Also, I stand before you in remembrance of over 80,000 other military individuals, Navy, Marine Corps, Army Air Corps, Coast Guard, who, like myself, survived that event, but who have themselves since passed on. If I may, I'll refresh your memories just a little bit. It was 74 years ago, this past December 7th, at approximately 7:51 a.m. Hawaiian time, that aerial bombs, torpedoes, and machine gun bullets began raining down on those of us on the ships, military installations, and even on some of the civilian population on the island of Oahu, territory of Hawaii. It was 74 years ago that the once roaring, blazing guns aboard the mighty battleships Utah, Oklahoma, and Arizona fell forever silent, as those great ships, with many of their brave and valiant crew members still manning their battle and duty stations, slipped beneath the oil-covered, burning waters of Pearl Harbor. In the many days and years that have since passed, I have oftentimes wondered, as I do most every morning, and I would ask each of you to take a moment to wonder with me now. Have those brave and valiant crew members on each and every day that has since passed, did they this morning, and will they forever stand muster, still manning their battle and duty stations there, beneath the calm and peaceful waters of a harbor they gave their lives to defend? Think about it. Think about it. The reason I mention that is back in the old Navy that a few of us guys were in, back then, if a vessel and its crew members went missing, unless located and recovered, that vessel and those crew members were considered to be on an eternal patrol. Well, we know where the USS Utah, the Arizona is. We got a pretty good idea where the Oklahoma is. We know where all those crew members are. So we can't consider them to be on an eternal patrol. But I'd like to suggest to you that if in remembering them, it will help us to remember and to keep the Pearl Harbor Survivors Association's motto, which is remember Pearl Harbor, keep America alert. If in remembering them, it will help us to remember and do that, then though they have not been on eternal patrol, I'd like to suggest to you that they have been, are now, and will forever be on an eternal watch. The calm and quiet of that long, long ago Sunday morning on a peaceful Pacific Island paradise was first interrupted by the faint, faraway drone of enemy aircraft engines, then totally, completely, and forever unforgettably shattered by the roar of exploding bombs, torpedoes, shipboard, ammunition magazines, by the cannons' roar, the machine guns' rattle, the cries of the wounded, and the sighs of the dying. I have came to feel that no one, who stood as they did that day at Pearl Harbor or any other military installation or vessel under attack, on or at the island of Oahu on December 7, 1941, a date that has lived in infamy, should ever be considered less than a patriot. Those of us of the Navy, Marine Corps, Army Air Corps, Coast Guard were caught off guard and badly beaten that morning. But those of us who survived picked ourselves up, dusted off our pride, tended to our wounded, and buried our dead. Then set out to recover and repair those ships, aircraft, artillery, vehicles, whatever all else could be recovered and repaired. And in the ensuing months and years, with almost 100% support and involvement here on the home front, especially here in California, we began to receive an almost unending supply of new ships, aircraft, artillery, vehicles, ammunition, freshly trained troops, and whatever all else we stood in need of. With these things at hand, those of us of the combined military forces of the United States and a few of its allies set out upon, over, and under the waters of the vast Pacific and Atlantic Ocean, other areas of navigable water, flyable airspace, and approachable land, not only to seek out, but to destroy those who would destroy us. It took a considerable length of time and at a great loss of men and equipment, and we did not win every battle. But we damn sure won that war. And I can tell you with an assurity that if the United States had not won that war, there would most likely be fewer of you citizens, and certainly none of us survivors left around to talk about it today. I have always felt that I was extremely lucky and fortunate in that I was not only in the duty section, and then therefore restricted to base, but also assigned the 0800 to 1200 security watch at Aerial Patrol Squadron BP 23's hangar, Building 54, located on the harbor inlet end of Naval Air Station, Ford Island, right in the center of Pearl Harbor on the morning of December 7th, 1941. I had arrived at the hangar early, and I was in an upper-level office attempting to type a letter to my dear sweet mother. It's maybe wrong to say type because you got to understand that prior to joining the Navy, I don't think I had even seen a typewriter, much less had a chance to use one. But I was using that old two-finger hunt and peck system. Some of you maybe know what I mean, on that old manual typewriter. I was making progress. You know, I think then if you could type 40 words a minute, you were considered to be an expert typist. It was maybe taking me about 4 minutes to do a word, but I was making progress. I was proud of what I was doing. I was really going to impress my family back there on the farm with that typewritten letter. I heard the sound of an approaching aircraft in the background, but that's not unusual. We're a naval air station. Airplanes come and go, but not usually on a Sunday, and certainly not that early in the morning. That sound grew louder and louder, and I'm thinking, oh, well, okay. A couple of the carriers, the U.S. Lexington and the U.S. Enterprise, had left the harbor the previous week to deliver short-range aircraft to our Marine and Naval forces on Midway and Wake Island, and I figured they must be returning, and as usual, they will launch their aircraft while they're still out at sea, and those airplanes will come in and operate off the land base while that carrier is in the harbor. Suddenly, the sound of that airplane changed, and I knew immediately that it was in a power dive. And I'm thinking, oh, that's one of those carrier air group pilots. He's got a little board with that standard regulation military formation flying, and he's wanting to do a little hot dogging, have a little fun. And I'm thinking, boy, oh boy, I wouldn't want to be in his shoes when the captain gets a hold of him because he's really going to be in trouble. Little did I realize that it was those of us there on the ground that were going to be in trouble very, very shortly. Suddenly and almost simultaneously, there was a tremendous roar, and bomb fragments, explosion debris, and window glass came crashing into the back of my head, ears, neck, and onto my shoulders. Those of you who have been involved in a similar event may remember that it may have affected your train of thoughts a little bit. Anyway, it did mine. You got to remember, I was 17 years old at the time. It took me a few seconds to get my train of thoughts back together, and when I did, I'm still thinking it's one of our friendly air group pilots, hot dog, and crashed. I'm going to go down and see if I can be of some help. I pushed myself back from that debris-covered typewriter and desk, got up, shook off as much of that debris as I could, and started for the door. For some reason, I thought, oh boy, I could be in trouble up here using the typewriter. I'm supposed to be on watch, you know. So I reached back, ripped that unfinished letter out of the carriage of that typewriter, crumbled it in my hand, and threw it in the wastebasket as I went out the door. You can only imagine how many times I have wished that I would have kept that letter. When I got on the lower level, went out through the narrow opening, left at the unclosed end of that big steel rolling hangar door, the sound of another aircraft. I looked up, and here comes this airplane in a steep power dive, and I'm seeing what's looking like blinking or flashing lights on the front, and I'm hearing strange popping and buzzing sounds all around me, but I don't recognize any of them for what they are. Later, I was told that what I thought was blinking or flashing lights was actually machine gun muzzle flashes, and those popping, buzzing, and whizzing sounds that I was hearing were those machine gun bullets striking and ricocheting off the steel hangar door right behind me and off the concrete apron on which I was standing. I'm just a kid, and since I didn't recognize them for what they are, I didn't consider myself to be in any danger. My interest and my attention was drawn to a big old bomb hanging there in the bottom of the fuselage between the fixed landing gear on that old Val radial engine dive bomber. Suddenly that bomb released, it wobbled as it began to fall. That airplane began to go out of its dive. By the time it had completed its flight and its dive and was in level flight, I don't think it was more than 100, 150 feet over my head. It's then that I first saw and recognized that big round red insignia there on the bottom of the wing. That and the fact that they've just dropped a bomb has convinced me that these are not the friendly fellows I thought they might be. I turned around and hurried back inside the hangar, hoping I could find someone with a key to the ammo shack. All of our guns and ammunition was locked up. I wanted to get a gun and get at these guys, you know. But as I come in the front door of that hangar, the other few that I was on duty with that morning were heading out the back door. Somebody, excuse me. Oh,